All right, guys. Good evening. Good evening. So we only have Julius right now, so we're going to record this for the sake of those who are not here and who were not joining us today. But this is a very important training, simply because I consider this as the holy grail of trading. All right. So I'm sure some of you guys who are going to watch this eventually on the replay, most of you guys are joining our training on technicals, on fundamentals, especially on the technicals. Now, when we are actually talking about the setups, how do we enter our trades, how we do our stop loss and take profit, and all that jazz. No? Technicals are really important. A lot of people are drawn into technicals because it is for a lot of people, that is the most exciting part about trading. Having that strategy, having that setup, and looking for a setup that actually will work for them. And so beginners tend to focus more on the technicals. Now, once you have done that, most people would go then into fundamental analysis, trying to figure out if fundamental can actually help them with their trading. But most people, they stick with the technicals, thinking that it must be the holy grail of trading. Looking for that strategy, that very specific strategy that has a win rate of 100%, meaning that all the time it's going to earn you money. A lot of beginners do that. Even those that are seasoned traders tend to focus on technicals. But I do not consider that. I do not consider the technical as the key to making money in trading. It's a different topic altogether. And what we're going to talk about today is risk management, specifically risk reward ratio. Mamaya pag-uusapan natin to later. All right. So right now I'm here in 5 minutes, right? Okay. I think I changed this a bit. Let me just go to Euro USD. All right. So first and foremost, we are going to talk about win rate. Okay. Win rate, pinaka-importante. Okay. Now, a lot of people, when they talk about technical analysis or they talk about strategy, all right, they talk about win rate a lot. Meaning, win rate is basically how many times, or how many times would a strategy will win, and how many times will it lose. So, for example, when we talk about a win rate of, you know, 70%, no? Welcome, Jomar. All right. Let's say we talk about a win rate of 70%. Okay. Ang ibig sabihin yan, 7 out of 10 trades, panalo. Right? 7 wins out of 10 trades. That's 70%. Right? If we are talking about 20 trades total, right? Then 14 out of the 20 trades, yun yung panalo. So 70% is a high win rate. No? That simply means that chances are you are going to make money on a 70% win rate. Okay? And we are talking about win rate as part of a strategy, right? Pag sinabi naman natin, another example, win rate of, let's say, 30%, that means that three out of that you will get three wins out of 10 trades, 10 trades. Okay, 3 wins out of 10 trades. Okay, and a lot of traders, especially beginners, would say hindi maganda ang win rate yan. Okay, kasi madalas talo ka, no? Bakit ka pa magte-trade with a strategy na may win rate lang na three times out of 10? Ibig sabihin talo ka ng 7 times. Okay? So talagang hindi ka mananalo sa ganyang win rate. Pangit na strategy 'yan. 'Yun yung sasabihin ng iba. So I also would confer, no, that a win rate of 70% is a better win rate compared to a win rate of 30%. However, I do not agree that you cannot win, no? You cannot win on a strategy with a win rate of 30%. Ito na dito pumapasok yung sinasabi kong holy grail of trading. It's not about the strategy. Or it's not about the strategy alone. Okay? Of course, there's a big part of being profitable na nandun sa strategy. Pero that is not the biggest part of making money, of being profitable. It's about your risk management. Okay, risk management. I know it sounds boring. All right, it sounds boring. Risk management. It's not as exciting as technical analysis. It's not even as exciting as fundamental analysis, right? But risk management for me is what will actually make you money, regardless of your win rate. Okay? Dito tayo papasok sa ano na to. So ano ulit yung win rate? Sabi natin, it's basically a ratio of how many times a strategy will win compared to how many times it will actually lose. Okay? So 7 wins out of 10. All right? Or sorry, how many times it will win compared to the number of trades total. So 7 wins out of 10 trades, meaning you're going, that's 70%. And 3 wins out of 10 trades, that's 30% win rate. Okay? Now, my question is this: is win rate absolute? Pag sinabi ba natin na isang strategy, pag sinabi natin na isang strategy is 70% win rate, does that mean that all the time you're going to win 7 times out of 10 trades? And the answer is no. The answer is no. Why? When we talk about win rate, we are talking about an average. All right? So meaning, in all the sessions that you're going to have, in all the times that you're going to trade, there is an average of 7 wins out of 10 trades. But it doesn't mean that all the time that will be your win rate. There will be times wherein it will be less than 7, and there will be times it will be more than 7 wins. And that is the concept of average, right? So there will be really bad days wherein maybe 0. Okay, they will be 0. And there will be good days wherein all your 10 trades will be wins. Okay, but we are basically looking at all the sessions possibly, let's say in a year, or let's say in a quarter, or let's say in a month, and you will come up near the average of 70%. And I would say if you have an average of that win rate, then that's a good strategy, all in all. So win rate is not absolute. Okay, there will be days wherein you are still going to lose money. Okay, how about 30%? Same thing, right? It is not absolute. We are talking about average. There will be days there will be more than 30, there will be more than 3 wins out of 10, and there will be days wherein you're going to lose money. Okay? So it's about average. So the win rate is not absolute. Is having a high win rate ensures profitability. Okay? Is having a high win rate ensures that you're going to be profitable? And the answer is also no. Right? As I mentioned earlier, depende yan dun sa araw. Kasi in a bad day wherein your number of wins is below the average, then you're going to lose money. All right? You're not going to be profitable. Okay? So that's one. That's one. We are talking about average. So not all the time you're going to hit the average. It can be higher, which will means you're going to earn more money, but it can also be lower, which means you're going to lose money. All right? So that's one. Second, second. So let me just put that in here, no? Para hindi natin makalimutan. So why is it a no? One, it's an average, right? It's an average. Second, second reason why is because we are human, no? Ano, what do I mean by that? Kasi when you have a strategy and you are not using a robot to do this, you are manually trading the strategy, syempre, in question then on how, as the trader, you're going to execute that strategy. Now, of course, there will be a list of rules. There will be a list of qualifications on how you identify setups. There will be lists of rules and qualifications on how you're going to enter the market. All right. And where you're going to put your stop loss and take profit. And so we are talking about execution. Execution of the strategy will not always be perfect. Okay? Hindi lagi na laging tama yung setup mo, hindi lagi na tama yung timing mo. So execution plays a big part on how your win rate will play out. Okay? Not because you have looked through your win rate and say, okay, historically it says 70% mananalo siya. It doesn't mean that it will do exactly the same thing if you're going to forward test it because, right, you are executing it, no? So, pwedeng beginner ka pa lang, nagsisimula ka pa lang na i-execute yung strategy and you're still learning how to execute the rules and qualifications of the strategy, and therefore it will not always be perfect. The timing will not always be right. Okay? So depende rin yan dun sa trader. Okay? Perhaps you are a seasoned trader na, pero on one specific day you are not really feeling well, right? There's a lot of distraction, there might be a lot of problems, and that will have impact on how you execute the strategy as well. So it will not always be perfect, and that would have an impact on the win rate that you're going to have. A 70% win rate for a strategy might not be 70% once you execute the strategy. Depende pa rin yan doon sa trader. Alright? So execution plays a big part in this. Okay? And then third, meron tayong tinatawag, and this is one very important, risk reward ratio. And this for me is the holy grail. I mean, risk management is holy grail, but this is the key to the holy grail, the risk reward ratio. Nasa risk reward ratio mo pa rin kasi. Okay? Even though if you have a 70% win rate, if you have a screwed up risk reward ratio, you are still going to lose. All right? Even if you have ito, even if you have a 99.99%, almost 100%. Let's just say a strategy actually exists that has a 99.99% win rate. No? That 0.001, all right, will still make you lose money if your risk reward ratio is muddled up. So the risk reward ratio is an important topic that we have to discuss and an important topic for you to realize how it works. Because once you do, and I'm going to tell you this, and you can quote me on this, even a 30% win rate can make you a lot of money if you understand risk reward ratio. All right, so let's go into this now. But before doing that now, let me just eto. Para dun sa mga hindi sa mga kadarating pa lang, Solay, Mary Ann, Winston, welcome. So when we talk about win rate, no, how do we know win rate? No? We know win rate by backtesting it. No? So we have a strategy. Let's say the strategy that I've been teaching you guys for the longest time. Right? You have a supply and demand. You figure out where you're going to put your entry and your stop loss, and then you figure out your take profit, right? And we understand we come up with a win rate by back testing and forward testing a strategy. Meaning, if you have a strategy you can back test, meaning you can use a historical data to do that, right? Then you can come up with a win rate. And normally, I personally would look at a 1 year's worth of data, sometimes more, all right, sometimes 3 years, and figure out, all right, how many times I can employ or I can identify a setup, and will that be set up profitable or not? And I can come up with a win rate, all right? For those that has a strategy that can easily be coded to a trading robot, then it would be easier to do historical backtesting or backtesting as a it will be more easier if you can actually put it in a code. Kasi bahala na yung code na magagawa niya ng paraan na siya na mismo yung titingin. So you can look at 10 years of data if you want to. Okay, and it will give you what would be the win rate for that. You can also do forward testing, especially for manual trading, for manual strategies that are difficult to to test using back testing. All right, we do forward testing, and for me, forward testing is um a better alternative to back testing kasi you're looking at what is the current market environment, right? What is the environment right now? What is the trading environment? And you would be able to test that as well, which you cannot do on backtesting. Because backtesting, which is historical data, might have a different environment to what you are doing right now. So forward testing, that means going into demo, all right, or you, perhaps you going on a live account with smaller risk, and doing the strategy. Okay, for manual traders like us, if we have a new strategy that we need to test, we have to put in a lot of time and effort. Why? Because one, we might be doing back testing or forward testing for a long period of time. Especially if you're going to do forward testing, you might have to test it for say minimum of 1 month to 3 months. That's just minimum, right? I have some back test. I have some testing doing right now, forward testing that has been ongoing for the last 7 months, a strategy that I've been trying to formulate. Okay. And another thing about testing manually is that you need to be very, very strict in following the strategy's parameters. So, meaning if you have a strategy and you have the list of rules that you have to follow, you have to follow it for the entirety of your testing. You cannot tweak it within or after na matalo, to tweak mo. After matalo, tweak mo, no? Kasi you won't be able to test the strategy itself, right? You won't be able to provide a win rate to that. All right. So you need to be very consistent in how you execute it, even on forward testing or back testing to come up with a win rate. All right. So once you have your win rate, then that's good. You would know how to play it already. Okay. As I mentioned, kahit yung win rate mo is 30%, you can still make money. How? Let's talk about risk reward ratio. A lot of people, especially beginners, they would normally have a risk reward ratio of 1:1, which is the worst kind of, not the worst, but mostly it's the average. What's the meaning of 1:1 risk reward or RR? RR normally yung ano dyan risk reward, no? 1:1. That simply means that if you are risking 10 pips, that means 10 pips risk, right? You should have a reward of also 10 pips. Okay? 10 pips risk equals 10 pips reward. That is 1:1. All right, so you're trying to win, you're trying to risk 1 pip to get 1 pip as well. So 10 pips equals 10 pips as well. Another 1:1 is 20 pips equals 20 pips reward, right? So that was the meaning of 1:1 risk reward ratio. Ano yung risk sa mga hindi pa nakakaalam? When you have an entry, right? You have an entry, for example, eto. This is mamaya meron tayong real example dito because I was actually trading earlier. So halimbawa no, this setup here, I have a supply zone. So sa mga madalas nang umattend, you know what I'm trying to do here, right? I'm trying to sell, right? This is a supply zone, so I'm trying to sell. This is the supply zone on the 1 hour, I believe. So this is the zone that I was following, that I was plotting, but I decided to trade that on a lower time frame. Okay. And so I entered here actually, right? I entered here. Syempre, yung stop loss ko would be above here. Are you still following me? So that is my stop loss. Meaning, I wanted the price to go lower. I wanted the price to go lower, which it did. It did, no? It did. Pero siyempre when you are entering a trade, there's the possibility that it will go against you and will go against the other way. And so I put in a stop loss just above my zone so that kapag na-hit yun, ibig sabihin magko-close na. And that is my risk, no? From entry to stop loss is a total of, and we can compute that by using a ruler here, 7.6, no? 7.6. Actually, I think I have my stop loss a little bit higher kasi total yon is 8. So yan. So 8, no? 8 pips ang nire-risk ko on this trade. Okay? And so if I'm going to do a 1:1 risk reward ratio, that means my reward should be 8 pips as well, right? So I should be around in this area, right? That is your R 1:1 R, no? RR. Meaning Ito yung take profit mo, yung from entry to your take profit, that is your reward. Alright? So kung 1:1, pareho yung risk mo, pareho yung reward mo, that is 1:1. Okay? What I did on my trade is 1:2, meaning I'm risking 8 pips and I wanted to get 16, which is times 2 of my reward. 16 pips, which is in this area here sa baba. Alright? So from here, from the entry, plus 16 below, yan. Dito yung aking target, no? Not on the 1:1. Alright, but that I think you can figure out what is RR by now. So RR or risk reward is basically telling you what is your reward, right? What should be your reward per trade? And this is very important, no? Sabi natin kanina, the high win rate will not ensure profitability. One, because it's an average, it can fluctuate between being on average, above average, or below average. Second, because of execution, there can be human error. There can be a lot of things that are leaning to the execution of the trader. And third, your risk reward ratio. Kung mali ang risk reward ratio mo, kahit sabihin natin 70%, pwede ka pa ring matalo. Bakit? Kasi our 1:1 ratio, for me personally, 1:1 ratio is not a good enough risk reward. Bakit? Let me just show you a table of risk reward ratio and how much you have to win on percentage to actually break even. And this is really important. So kanina sa example natin 1:1, all right? Meaning 50% of all your trades should be a winning trade. All right? And then 50% should be losing. In that case, obviously, break even ka. Gets? So meaning if you have a total of 10 trades, you need to win 5 of that and only lose 5 of that to break even para wala kang talo. Anything lower than 5 wins, talo ka na. Julius, hindi 'no, meron tayong trigger. Julius, kung hindi ka pa pala nakaka-attend ng ating mga ibang, previous strategies 'no, there will be one next week 'no. Next week we are going to have another session next week. We'll talk about the strategy itself, but we are not using engulfing triggers, all right, is just one aspect of what on how we trade, no? It's actually just kumbaga, a compelling signal, but that's not the signal itself. All right. We are employing S&D, which is supply and demand, so zones. We are employing a little bit of SMC. All right. If you guys are not familiar with that, that is smart money concept, pero not much. No? I'm not into smart money, but I believe a lot of people who are into smart money would have familiarity on how I trade because there's a little bit of similarity. But I am a price action trader. All right. I do price action. I don't do indicators. There will be some indicators, but not how indicator traders would use indicators. All right. And so I use that for since 2009. Yun na talaga yung akin. So it's very refined. It's working for me. It's again 70% win rate. All right. So just follow through with the webinars. Eventually we're going to talk about the technicals. All right, and we will talk about the setup itself. All right. So going back, so 1:150, no? Yung sa akin, yung sa aking example, sinabi ko din sa inyo that I have instead of 1:1, and this is actually a live trade 'no, kanina ginawa ko. Okay, kanina ginawa ko. Although hindi siya nanalo. Alright, I had to close it a little bit early. So I was trying to get in here, okay? And that is 1:2, meaning I'm trying to get 8 here. That's the risk. I'm risking 8, but I'm trying to get 16. So that is 1:2. And for me, 1:2 for especially for if you're trading the 1 hour and the higher time frame, that is already a good enough risk reward ratio. Why? Kasi sa 1:2, ang laki ng diferensya tingnan nyo. You only need 33% to actually break even. Ibig sabihin nun, you can, in a set of 10 trades, you only need to win 4 times to make money. 4 times to make money. Again, in a set of 10 trades, you only need to win 4 times. Meaning you have 6 trades na pwede kang matalo, na okay lang matalo. How good is that? Na pwede ka matalo 6 times kasi kailangan mo lang talaga 4 to make money. Mananalo ka pa rin. Alright? So 1:2 is for me the least risk reward ratio that I'm going for. Does that make sense? Bakit? Nage-gets niyo ba kung gaano kaganda yung concept na 'to? That no matter what, you only need to win 4 times to make money. 4 times to make money. The rest, yung 6 mo, pwede mong italo ng wala kang problema na hindi masakit sa puso kasi kasama siya sa strategy mo, eh. Pwede kang matalo ng 6 na beses. Pwede mong ulit-ulitin yung isang setup hanggang sa mag-ano siya, mag-continue dun sa direction na gusto mo 6 times. Because you only need 4 wins. Just imagine if you are trading with a higher risk reward wherein 1:3, 25% lang yung kailangan mo. Alright, 25%. Okay, simply kahit meron kang strategy that has an average win rate of 30%, this will still make you that strategy will still make you money if you are doing a 1:3 risk reward ratio. Just imagine this, if you can make money on a 30% win rate strategy because you are employing a risk reward of 1:3. All right. Just imagine if you are employing the same risk reward 1:3 on a 70% win rate strategy. Does that make sense? Nagigets niyo na ba yung ibig kong sabihin? In a 1:3 risk reward ratio, you can lose a total of 7 times. 7 times and still make money as long as you're going to win the last 3 trades. Okay? What if it's 1:5? All right? You only have to win twice on out of 10 trades. 2 wins out of 10 trades and you are still going to make money. Does that make sense, guys? Kung bakit napakaganda ng concept ng risk reward and why this is the holy grail? Why do you need that? I guess that is the question. Okay, siguro naintindihan niyo siguro ngayon. Yes, quality over quantity. All right? Pero sa yung pinag-uusapan natin ngayon, no? Na sinasabi natin na hindi naman lagi kasi panalo ka. And you cannot expect a 100% win rate on any given strategy. Nothing exists like that. Wala. Wala, no? Wala. Pero you will always find, as I mentioned before, no? You need to be uh familiar na by now that when it comes to trading, there will be a lot of times that you're going to lose. Kasi wala nga 100% win rate. Talaga manatalo ka, that's part of the game. Okay? As keep on telling everyone, no, when we are trading, we try to that if we are losing, that as a trader, if we are losing, we want to lose the smallest amount possible, and when we are winning, we want to win the biggest amount possible. All right? And this is how you do it. You do it with your risk reward. All right? So if ever you're going to trade using a 1:1, 50-50% ka pa rin kahit gaano kaganda ang win rate mo. It's still a 50-50%, no? Kumbaga 50-50, pwede ka manalo, pwede ka matalo. You're in a way para ka pa rin nagagamble. Alright? That's why sabi natin, go for 1:2. In a 1:2 risk reward, you're risking 1 pip to earn 2 pips. So 10 pips equals 20 pips reward, and that will make you that will be a better risk reward for you. Alright? Dito sabi natin sa 1:3, 33% ang ating break even. So anytime that we win 4 times, alright? 4 times, then the rest is losing, okay lang, panalo pa rin tayo. Why do you need that? Why do you need that on a trade? Balik tayo dito sa example natin. As I mentioned, I was trading earlier. Gusto ko sana ipakita kaya lang malalabo eh. Nakikita ba yung trade ko? This was today. Okay. Hindi masyado makita eh. Kita ba? Pero I just won $4.20. I'm going to explain why. $4 yan. This is Euro USD earlier. It's exactly the same setup that is in your screen right now. So how I did it, no? So I was looking at the Euro USD and I thought, okay, this seems to be going lower. Alright, sa mga sumusubaybay dun sa ating webinar, alam nila that this is against the rule kasi sabi natin whenever the price is above EMA, magba-buy ka lang. Pero, I wasn't looking at that way. I was looking at the structure itself. The structure is basically telling me that this is gonna go lower, right? Gonna go lower kasi, yung structure niya 'no, it's telling me na from the start na nagsimula siya dito. Okay. It is on that point wherein it is ready to roll over to the other side of the EMA. I'm trying to capture yung initial rollover to the downside. Okay. And that's why I wasn't trading really with the 1 hour. I was trading with the 5 minute. I'm doing a little bit of scalping and hoping to test the waters, kumbaga. So I was doing that. And so I was here. I was looking at this area here. Again, this is 5 minutes, so in a way, this is a scalping. So let me just remove some of this. So the price is going lower and it's going higher. So it has gone lower. All right, this has gone lower. This is the EMA here, and it has gone above it. And this is the zone on the 1 hour. So this is a supply zone on the 1 hour time frame. And so I actually entered in this area. All right, that area here. Pagpasok, sorry, pagbagsak niya pala 'no, dito ako nag-enter. So hinayaan ko siyang umakyat, pagbalik niya 'no, pagbagsak niya, dun ako nag-enter. Bumagsak, dun ako nag-enter. And my stop loss is above it, alright? I think it's around 1 pip higher pa a little bit, but the total risk here is 8 pips, alright? 8 pips lang. And I was trading with a point 0.10 'no, point 0.10 lot size. So meaning kada pip $1, $1. So I'm risking $8 total and I'm trying to get 16 pips. All right, 16 pips meaning $16 ang gusto ko sanang mapanalunan. Tapos after nito natulog ako. Okay. So here's the deal here. Even though you have a setup that is good, very sound, very logical, it follows our strategy of supply and demand zone, right? And my entry is okay. I think it was a perfect entry. Hinayaan ko muna siya umakyat, tapos saka siya bumulusok. My take profit, my stop loss is there. My take profit is within, no, I believe what the price would be able to go to without any issue, without any difficulty. And it was able to do that. No, it was able to do that. And when it did, all right, so it took me so 5 minutes to So one, two, so I was actually following it. So from this point, yung umakyat siya. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 times 5, right? 9 times 5, that's around 45 minutes. Na 45 minutes akong tinitingnan ko yung market. And it was able to hit my take profit, right? Which is 16 pips, all right? And I was happy with that. However, I think when I was looking at the chart and how it looks like, I realized, okay, this might actually roll over a little bit lower. Yun yung iniisip ko. So the price already hit my take profit, pero hindi ko siya kinlose. Alright, what I did was I actually removed my take profit and I put my stop loss to break even. Actually, hindi naman talaga break even na break even. 4 pips, 4 pips. So just in case na bumalik siya, I'm going to earn 4 pips. Okay, 4 pips yung aking earn. Just in case na bumalik siya. Because I was expecting that this price will go lower pa. Okay, so I was risking already the money that is already in the bank. All right, I was risking it. There's no problem with it. I moved my stop loss anyways, just in case it went back. I'm not going to lose money. I'm going to earn a little bit of dollars. Okay, and I actually went to sleep after this. Okay, nakatulog kasi ako. Kanina lang to, kaya tanghali lang to. And so I was expecting the price to actually go lower pa. And if it did, no, I was expecting na pagising ko, nandito na siya sa around this area and I should have been earning more, right? Nasa 30, 40 and that's a good risk reward, no? Kasi I was risking 8, kung nag-40 siya, right? That would be a 1:5 risk reward. I would be very happy with that. And if ever na magtuloy-tuloy siya, as I mentioned, on the 1 hour, this might I am expecting this to actually go lower, okay? To go lower. And this might actually be below the EMA. I might actually just let it run. Now, remember if you have gone through our webinar about runners, na sometimes nag-iiwan ako ng maliit na trade and I just allow it to run, no? Tapos yung runner na yan, tatakbo yan ng ilang araw. Okay? Parang ATM na yan kasi technically wala na siyang risk, no? Naka-break even na siya eh. Pero tumatakbo yan the entire day. So that's one of the what I love doing, no? I love putting in a runner whenever I trade. Pero this time it didn't happen kasi right after ma-hit niya yung aking take profit level na 16 pips, it went back and tulog ako nito. Hindi ko na nakita, hindi ko na napansin. So tulog ako, na-hit yung aking stop loss dito. So that's why I earned $4. $4 lang. And then it went higher than the zone, right? And then went lower. Yung nakita ko to, two bars na siya na nasa ilalim. So na-hit niya na yung taas niya. Tapos na-hit niya na rin yung take profit, yung aking stop loss. Okay? So wala na. So here's my question. So that's okay kasi I won a bit. Pero if ever na hindi ko siya na ibaba, no? Hindi ko siya na break even, nakaangat pa rin siya. Would that be a losing trade for me? Yes, it would be a losing trade, right? Kasi na-hit yung take profit ko eh. Ay yung stop loss ko which I'm going to lose $8 in the process. But here's the good thing. If you have a good risk reward ratio, hindi ka matatakot matalo. Why? So in this case, the price, nagising ako, nandito na yung price. Second bar na bumaba na siya. Okay? Because I have a win rate of 1:2, meaning I'm not counting just this one trade, but the next 9 trades na gagawin ko. Right? The next 9 trades na gagawin ko, I can re-enter this trade. Let's say natalo ako, bumalik siya, I can re-enter this nang walang sakit sa puso. Bakit? Well, my risk reward is 1:2. I'm basically allowing myself 7 losses. All right? Or 6 losses. 6 losses. All right? To try and try again. Na hindi ako mahirapan sa puso because I know I only need 4 trades to win. Does that make sense? And so your win rate ratio allows you to try and try again the same setup without losing your mind in the process. Okay? So meaning, itong setup na to, umangat siya, okay, lumagpas siya. Pero is this a sound strategy? Is this a still sound setup for me? Yes. It's still sound setup. Oo, umangat siya, pero tingnan mo naman yung nangyari. It was a rejection. Alright? Okay, umangat siya. 5 minutes. Normally, lower time frame talagang may noise yan. Hindi maiiwasan yan na hindi talagang minsan mag-overshoot yung mga prices. And so I can go back, re-enter, and try again. Let's say bumagsak siya. Tapos ang nangyari ngayon this time is naglagay ako ng stop ng binaba ko sa break even. Eh hindi naman siya bumagsak totally, bumalik. So wala pa rin akong talo and then I can re-enter again in this case. Okay? So 3 times nag-re-enter ako. Twice talo, dalawa, tas isang beses lang nanalo. And that is okay, right? Does that make sense, guys? Now, you can actually, what if panalo ka? Let's say nanalo ka dito. Let's say let's say nag-enter ako dito as I mentioned earlier. Alright, nag-enter ako diyan, stop loss ko diyan. Tapos pagdating dun sa 16 points, close ko. Alright? Halimbawa kino-close ko. I can re-enter again this case. Right? Re-enter again. And I'm basically trying to milk this setup 1 to 4 times. Okay? Without any worry that I might lose twice or thrice in the process. That is what risk reward ratio gives you. A good risk reward ratio will give you a peace of mind. Does that make sense? Especially if you're trading the 1 minute to 5 minute, wherein we keep on telling you guys that although you can use supply and demand zone, there will be a lot of times wherein the price will just overshoot with a high wick. And because that is noise, no? May maraming noise sa lower time frame. And so even though you have a sound setup, there will be a lot of failures when you are trying to enter the market. Okay? And so those failures, if you have a 1:1 or lower than 1:1, those failures would eventually add up. And it will be harder for you to make money because you are trying to catch you're playing cat and mice with your profit, no? Hinahabol mo yung kita mo if you are doing 1:1. But if you have a good risk reward ratio of 1:2, 1:3, 1:5, hindi ka mamamroblema. Because minsan dalawang wins lang, tatlong wins lang, may pera na agad. Kita na agad, may profit na agad. Okay? Kahit ibawas mo yung mga natalo mo. That's why win risk reward ratio is very important. Now, a lot of people understand this. I'm sure some of you guys also understand this. That risk reward should be higher than 1:2 or 1:2 or higher, right? Pero bakit meron pa ring natatalo? Because a lot of traders, even seasoned traders do this. They enter a trade and they're saying, okay, all right, they enter a trade. Okay, that is my entry. Okay, this is my stop loss. And I would say 1:2, so 16. All right, so 8 pips ang risk, 16 ang reward. And that's okay. Here's the thing, a lot of people do this. Na-enter na nila yung trade, anong ginagawa nila? Pagkapasok pa lang ng trade, yung kanilang stop loss naka-trailing stop. So ano ibig sabihin nun? Trailing stop. Ibig sabihin, ito yung kanilang take profit. So habang gumagalaw yung market, bumabagsak, gumagalaw din ngayon yung kanilang stop loss. Bakit nila ginagawa 'yon? Yung mga taong gumagamit ng trailing stop, they want to make sure that they're using that they are going to capture a profit even though bumaliktad yung market. But the thing is, the market will always retrace. So halimbawa, gumamit ako ng trailing stop, pag-enter ko ng trade, ang mangyayari is, eventually 'pag umabot siya dito sa bar na 'to, okey, na bumagsak yung market hanggang dito, okey, at may trailing stop ka, maaabot ng market 'yan, okey, at mai-stop ka early. Premature termination ng iyong trade kasi gumamit ka agad ng trailing stop. Okay? I don't have any problem with you guys using trailing stop, pero you have to use it properly. No? You don't put a trailing stop immediately, especially if the price is still in the area wherein you are assuming that there will still be volatility. Okay? Ako, gumagamit ako ng trailing stop after makover nung buong price yung aking risk reward. Meaning, if ever I'm going to use a trailing stop, I'm only going to use it after the price has gone to my take profit at kung bumagsak pa yan, saka lang gagalaw ulit yung price. Kung bumagsak beyond my 1:2 risk reward ratio. And that is a one way of doing that, no? You don't enter a trade and then trailing stop agad. Okay? Kasi talagang matatalo at matatalo ka. Hindi mo rin magagawa yung risk reward ratio na gusto mo. Kasi mata-terminate prematurely yung trade mo. Another thing that I'm realizing, especially for beginners, alright, kapag nakakita sila ng konting panalo, let's say, nag 8 pips, nakita nila, ay 8 pips, medyo malaki na yun. Okay? Medyo kinakabahan sila na baka, nandun yung fear na baka bumaliktad yung market sa kanila. And so, this tendency for even seasoned traders, beginners and seasoned trader, na kapag malapit na dun sa kanilang take profit, hindi pa umaabot, kino-close na nila agad. So they are prematurely terminating their trade and they're happy about it because siyempre kumita sila ng konti eh. Pero for me, that's going to mess up your risk reward ratio. Kasi you are happy with a trade, one winning trade. Okay? My question is that one winning trade going to pay for your bills for the entire week? Chances are no. Okay? When you are trading, you are not going for that one winning trade. You are going for a high win rate for the entire week, for the entire month, or for the entire year. And so risk reward and being strict with the risk reward is very important if you want to do that. Okay? So here's what I do. May question ba tayo? Oo, trailing stop, no? Julius, trailing stop. So here's what I do and what I recommend you guys to do. When you are trading and you have figured out and you have decided to only use 1:2 or 1:3 in the entire session. In the entire session, hold your stops. Hold your stops. All right? Lagay ko. Hold your stops. Meaning, don't move that. Don't move that, especially if you are a beginner. One thing that you need to practice is holding your stops. Even if you have, even if the price has gone towards your goal, and you have won a couple of dollars, don't move your stop to break even. Don't do what I did. All right, just allow it to hit your take profit. Same thing if the price goes against you, right? If the price goes against you when you entered, instead na bumagsak, umangat siya, allow it to lose. Don't move your stops. All right? A lot of people, sir, pwede ko naman ibagsak, di ba? Para mas konti yung aking talo. Pwede. Pero believe it or not, no? Sa psychology mo, logically you're thinking, okay, I should be able to lower my risk by going lower, no? Pero that is not a good exercise of mental strength. Why? If you going to allow yourself to have that exercise that I can move my stops, there will be times wherein you're going to be weak. And instead of moving to lower your risk, you might be exercising your mental capability to actually move it higher. Sabi mo, ay, pwede ko naman galawin to eh. Sige, kakangat ko ng konti, baka bumagsak na to. Alright? And chances are, kapag ganyan, you're going to lose money. Right? So, instead, your, why don't you keep your stops, whatever your stop is, and just allow your risk-reward ratio to do its job. Alright? Huwag ka na mag-move ng stops. Bakit? If you're going to be strict with your risk-reward ratio, that risk-reward ratio will do its job for you to minimize your risk. All right? Keep your stops. All right? Kung talo, di talo. All right? Kung panalo, hindi panalo. Okay? So wala nang galawan after ilagay mo yung entry mo, yung stop loss sa take profit mo. Wag mo nang galawin. Hayaan mo na lang siya. Just focus on your risk reward. All right? Just focus on yung risk reward. Eventually, for example, let's say ito natalo, fine, natalo. Ito natalo, fine, natalo. Kailangan mo lang ng isang magandang trade, okay? With a 2, with 1:2, itong dalawa na to, okay, break even agad. Nagigets niyo ba yung concept ng risk reward? That's why it's very important that you do this. All right? If you have a better 1:2, let's say, especially on lower time frame, no, I do suggest higher than 1:2, 1:3, 1:5. Mas madali kasi sa lower time frame, no. 1:5, kayang-kaya. If you have a 1:5 risk reward ratio, kayang-kaya talaga. Sobrang daling kumita ng pera. Pero you need to be very strict. Dito yung sinasabi nila na trading is about patience. Yes, it is. Trading is about being strict, no? With your rules. Yes, it is. Ito yun. No? It's not about the setup itself. Alright? So that's why this is very important. Ang nangyari dito is na ito, no? Talo ako. And then earlier when I saw this, hindi ako naka-enter eh. Hindi ko na-enter yung trade ko. Hindi rin ako nakapasok dito. So panalo ako ng $4. Pero since hindi ako naka-enter, sayang kasi etong kung na-enter ko to, panalo sana ako. Alright, ng 16 pips. And then pwede ko pang gatasan ulit to kasi obviously bumagsak siya. Okay. So I could have traded that as well, pabagsak dito sa ilalim. So yun, yun yung kagandahan ng risk reward ratio, and that's why I'm teaching you guys this right now so that I know a lot of people think it's like naka-boring naman yan. It is boring pero that's what makes you money eh. That's what makes you money in the process of trading. Bakit na sila? Sabi mo, yan. This is what will make you money, yung risk reward ratio. So, going back, ito yung table ng risk reward ratio kanina. Sabi natin 1:2 ang gusto natin kasi that means we only need to win 4 times out of 7. We are allowed to lose 7 times. Alright? Or 6 times, sorry, 6 times. 1:3 is much, much better. Kasi kahit 30% win rate, mananalo ka pa rin dito. You only need 3 wins. 7 losses, it's fine. Basta 3 panalo, you can still make money. May 5% ka pa rin panalo dyan. If it's 1:5, mas maganda. Meaning, kailangan mo lang manalo ng 2 beses. Pwede ka matalo ng 8 times, 2 beses panalo, may pera ka pa rin. Kasama na yung talo mo, no? Covered yung talo mo lahat. And 1:10 is much, much better. Pero mahirap na i-cover yung 1:10 even at lower time frame. So normally, naglalaro tayo ng 1:2 to 1:5. 1:2 normally ginagawa natin yan. 1 hour to higher time frame. Okay, bakit? Kasi based on from my experience, no, if you're going to look yung sa mga zones natin, if you're going to follow yung ating mga zones, normally hindi na kaya minsan ng 1:3. Kung kaya, why not? Pero normally kapag may mga zones tayo na ganyan, ang nako-cover natin is 1:2. Another thing why I only do 1:2 sa higher time frame kasi mas matagal mong hihintayin yung trade, no? In a 1 hour, let's say, in a 1 hour time frame, kung maghihintay ka ng ganito kadami, no? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Siguro mga 5 hours siya, no? Especially if you're trading the daily, no? Every candle is 1 day, no? So mas matagal. So 1:2 is fine, no? Pero if you're trading the 5 minute or the 1 minute time frame, I suggest you go above 1:2. It should be around 1:3, 1:4, 1:5. Bakit? Kailangan mo actually 'yon. Hindi ka puwedeng mag 1:2 lang sa hindi masyadong maganda, mag 1:2 sa lower time frame because as I mentioned, the setup might be valid, the setup might be good, and sound, pero there will be a lot of times na hindi naman siya mai-invalidate, pero there will be times where the price will just go against the structure. And so you if you have a good risk reward ratio, you are allowed to retry to enter a certain setup as long as hindi siya validated. Hindi siya invalidated. Okay? So meaning dito, no, pwede kang mag-try dito. Try ka ng try na mag-try. So halimbawa dito sa setup natin, no, stop loss mo na hit dito, okay lang. Stop loss mo na hit ulit, okay lang. Okay, try lang ng try hanggang sa manalo ka. Yun yung kailangan mo. Okay? If nanalo sana ako dito, kunyari nakapag-enter ako dito sa trade na 'to, burahin natin, halimbawa lang let's say tatlong beses ako natalo, 1, 2, 3. Let's say halimbawa lang tatlong beses na tayo natalo. Tapos ang kinuha nating setup is ito na. Same same setup basically, pero since nag-retest na yung market, ito na yung iyong zones. Ito na yung zones mo ngayon. Itong area na lang na 'to, right? Okay. So nag-enter ka dito, you're risking what? 4 pips? Alright, 4 pips. So sabihin natin 5 pips, no? If you enter that, the market is now in 25 pips lower from the entry point. 26 na actually. So that means, no, 1:5, 'di ba? And kung talo ka ng tatlo sa umpisa, 15, no? Kung nag-close ka ngayon, natalo ka ng tatlo, 15, and you just won 25, panalo pa rin. Does that make sense? May mga traders akong kilala na ang win rate talaga nila around 33% lang. Pero, ah, dahil nga focus sila dun sa kanilang, take profit or sa risk reward nila, um, wala akong makitang session na talo talaga sila. I mean, there will be trades na talo sila, marami, 'no, marami silang trades na talo. Pero if you're going to count all the trades in one session, let's say isang upuan, 4 hours sila nagte-trade or isang buong araw, that's entire one session, bihirang-bihirang matalo sila because of their risk reward. And this will make you a better trader, a profitable trader. Not the strategy. All right, not the timing, no? Not the price action or or candlestick patterns that you are trading. It's your risk reward ratio that will make you win money in the market. You can make it win. All right? So do you have any questions, guys? This is the holy grail of trading. And no question about that. This is the holy grail of trading. Don't look for the 100% win rate. It doesn't exist. But this is the holy grail of trading. Any questions? Okay. So, kung walang questions, let me see a raise of hands. Sino ang may natutunan ngayong araw na 'to? Raise of hand or just type, "Yes, may natutunan ako," sa ating chat. Sino ang may natutunan ngayong araw na 'to? Alright, thank you, Lai. Alright. Si Lai lang ang may natutunan ko. Kamusta naman yung iba? Thank you, Winston. Alright, thank you. Oo, thank you, Rai. Jomar, okay. Julius, thank you. Alright, good, good. Okay. So I do hope that you continue thinking about this. I'm actually recording this right now. Good thing that a lot of people join in to see this. But I'm going to record this because for me this is a really important topic that I haven't really discussed since we started training dito sa Trade FX. Because you know, for me as a beginner, sabi ko nga kayo na sa umpisa, most beginners they are attracted by by technical analysis. And sometimes kahit sabihin mo na, "Hindi, mas importante 'to." Kung hindi mo masa-satisfy yung technical analysis na 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 thirst nila, hindi nila papakinggan 'to. That's why we did technical analysis para, kumbaga para sa mga beginners, okey? Kung na-gets niyo na yung technical analysis, na-gets niyo yung fundamental, hopefully, okay, that you listen and rewind and review this topic because I promise you, kahit hindi maganda yung execution mo, which is a big part of trading, 'di ba? Execution. Nasaan na ba yun? Nawala yung okey. Nasa 1 minute pala ako. Alright. Sabi natin execution is a big part, yeah. Sabi kahit maganda yung win rate mo, hindi naman paano kung hindi magaling yung trader, 'di ba? That's okay. And the thing is, for beginners, kahit intermediate, magkakamali ka. Kahit nga magaling na nga trader, minsan mali yung timing, eh. So, hindi mo mawawala na hindi maganda yung placing ng trades mo, okey? May talagang gano'n 'no, pero you can make it work pa rin if your win rate is okay. So, yun lang sa akin guys. This is a big topic, seems to be overlooked a lot of times. But I promise you, learn this, be consistent with your with your risk reward ratio. Kahit pangit yung strategy mo, kahit hindi mo nga alam yung ginagawa mo, to be honest, laki ng chance na pwede kang manalo. Basta tama yung win rate mo. This will make you money. This will make you money. Not your strategy, not the fundamental, it's your risk reward ratio. So again guys, thank you so much for listening. Ay, meron tayong question, sorry. Yes, so sabi ni Julius, 10% lang po ang TA, importante pa rin ang risk. Yes, 10%. 10% lang talaga. That's a good 10%. Paano po 'pag satisfy na sa profit kahit 'di na hit TP, puwede po 'yun, close and profitable? Hmm, good question, Winston. Paano kapag oo nga 'no, kapag satisfied ka na dun sa kinita, nung iyong trade 'no, hindi pa rin ba puwedeng i-ano 'yun, kahit hindi na hit yung TP? That's a good question, Winston. But here's the thing, is that part of your strategy? Okay, what do I mean? When you even before you enter your trade, you need to figure out already and set it in stone, what is your risk reward, okay? Kasi kung ako yung tatanungin mo, if I'm going to trade a longer, a higher time frame, and I'm trading with a standard lot size, kada isang tip is $10. A lot of people would say $10 would satisfy them, right? But would I close that? No. For me, it's not about being satisfied. A lot of people will be satisfied and a lot of people will be fearful because that is what the market is all about. It's about greed and fear and and satisfaction and greed, no? So I'm not going to put any emotion into it. Satisfaction is an emotion, right? Satisfaction is an emotion. And you can always say, masaya na ako dyan, right? Pero when it comes to earning money, you need to be very objective, no? It's not about emotion. Does it satisfy the rules that you have decided on even before you enter your trades? If not, then don't. Don't close it prematurely because that is a failure of your strategy, right? If the rules hasn't been satisfied by what happened in the market, then your execution is a failure. That is how I'm going to put it. All right? It's all about the execution eh. Kasama 'yun eh sa risk management. That's also execution. Right? So for me, no. All right? If you decided that okay, I'm going to trade 10 trades right now and I'm going to have a risk reward ratio of 1:2. And suddenly nagkaroon ako first trade ko, I'm already satisfied pero hindi na hit yung 1:2. That and I'm going to close it prematurely. That is a failure. For me, that is a failure. So I hope I was able to answer your question there, Winston. But that's a very good question. No? I'm trying to answer it by telling you guys na you need to set aside the emotion when you are trading. A lot of times you need to aside your emotion. Sir, I have a very weak signal. Halo, wala ako makuha na bio scenario. So napasana ko. Yes, yung lalagay kita ng recording sa group natin. Set break even na lang po mas maganda. Hmm, Yun nga yung sinasabi ko kanina, eh. Kung hindi na-hit yung take profit, why? You need to have a good reason why you need to put the break even. right? Kasi sabi nga natin, if it's actually very near that area, no, magiging volatile yung market eh. So instead of changing your stop loss, hold it. Let your risk reward ratio do its job. Wag mo nang i-break even. Bakit? Kasi mamaya malay mo panalo na pala, natalo pa kasi na-hit yung break even mo. Okay? Going break even doesn't mean you're going to win kasi you're talking about your setup eh. So, puwedeng nag-break even ka tapos talagang tumuloy na sa taas, o di okey, nag-break even ka, hindi ka natalo, that's fine. Eh, paano kapag nag-break even ka, natamaan yung break even mo tapos bumalik pa yung ilalim, 'di ba? Hindi naman natamaan yung dapat stop loss mo. So, it's a double-edged sword. Moving your stop loss for me, especially for beginners, don't do it unless you have a really good reason to do that. Sa akin nag-break even ako dun sa trade ko kanina because I was hoping na-hit yung TP ko, eh, and I was risking that, 'no, for the price to, and I'm hoping the price will go lower. I have a logic behind why I did that. And having a runner is part of my strategy. But, putting your stop loss to break even because you just fear that the price will go back to your entry and that you're going to lose money. I think for me that is not logical. I mean, it should be part of your trading already, of your system, that you're going to lose some and win some. Yes, Julius, sabi ni Julius, trust the process, yes. Trust your risk reward as well. Let the risk reward do it for you. Alright, sabi nga natin, alam mo naman na yung win rate nun eh, 70%, 'di ba? O kaya sabi natin 40%. So kailangan mo lang manalo na isang beses. I'm sure most of your losses will be covered by that one win. 3 wins, pero let's say 3 losses sunod-sunod, pero ang win rate mo naman is 1:5, 1:4, edi covered lahat ng losses mo. Alright, follow your process, follow your rules and your risk reward, especially your risk reward, no? And if you can follow that, I can assure you that you're going to make money. Okay, guys? So that's it for today. Very important topic. I hope you learned a lot. Okay, and I'm sure for some of you guys, it's something to think about. All right, to think about, and hopefully that you actually test this to in your trading, in your own trading, in your own demo. All right, and just figure it out. I mean, there will be some losses, there will be some wins. This is the best way to actually manage your risk. Okay, so that's it for today. I'm going to record this and post it either in my YouTube channel or in my Google Drive and give you access to it so that you could replay it and review it. And for those who aren't able to join, since this is a very important topic, I'm more than happy to record it for you guys so that everyone, even those who haven't joined it, should see this. So sa mga kaibigan kayo na traders din, pakita niyo yung video na to, and I'm sure this will help them a lot. I'm sure you have a lot of questions. So if ever you have a lot of questions that you cannot verbalize right now, just message me in the group chat, all right? Or put it in the group chat, ask questions there, and I will answer your questions if it's about what the topic today is. All right, guys. So maraming salamat for joining. What's the time right now? It's 8, sakto 1 hour. All right, 8:07. Alright, and I'm about to trade right now. Sana mag-trading kayo kasi maganda yung market right now. Especially yung mga major pairs. Why? Kasi Monday was a holiday in the US. It was Memorial Day. And so the first day of the week was actually yesterday. And so there are a lot of volatility still in the market. Really nice to trade right now. Very little risk, higher reward. So check nyo, no? Kung nagde-demo kayo, it's the best time to demo. Kung mga nagte-trade kayo with a live account, it's also the best time to trade a live account. So maraming salamat and I'll see you guys, kailan ba? Next week na. So hindi tayo nakapag-training kahapon kasi walang umattend. Actually si Jomar lang yung umattend, and I told Jomar, stop na natin kasi tayong dalawa lang. Sayang yung ating oras. So na-cover naman natin lahat today. Pero hopefully next time, no, be on time para hindi natin i-close yung ating training. Thank you, Jomar. Pasensya na again tomorrow. But the reason why I decided to not continue the webinar kasi nga sabi ko importante to eh. Mas maganda kung mas maraming attend. So good thing marami kayo ngayon. So again, guys, maraming salamat. I hope you learned and I'm going to see you next week. For those who are new to the webinars, to the group, don't worry. Next week we'll talk about technical analysis. Back to technical analysis tayo. Alright? Pag-usapan natin yung setup. Maraming salamat guys. Goodbye. And God bless.